The New York Times and Wall Street Journal are reporting that NBC Universal's head of advertising, Linda Yaccarino, is in talks to become the new CEO of Twitter, citing people with knowledge of the matter. NBC Universal is a parent company of this network. Those reports coming shortly after Elon Musk tweeted, "Excited to announce that I've hired a new CEO for X Twitter. She will be starting in 6 weeks." Musk wrote he would transition to become executive chair and CTO of the company. For more on this, let's bring in Gene Munster, Deepwater Asset Management managing partner. Gene, great to see you. I thought it was interesting that Twitter stock yesterday, intraday, got a pop on this, the assumption being that Elon will have more time to spend on Tesla. And so I'm wondering if you think that is the right verdict here.
It's fractionally the right verdict. This is undoubtedly good news for personally Elon Musk. It's a fractional positive for Tesla. And the reason why is, well, it's clear that his role as CEO is moving in a different direction. He's still going to have a role at Twitter, so as a product person, so there's going to be time that's going to be allocated for that. And separately, his passions don't end at Tesla. Obviously, we have SpaceX, Neuralink, you have the Boring Company, and there is Enter from stage right, the X.AI company. And I think this is the piece why investors should only view this as a Tesla investors as a fractional positive. My suspicion is that Elon really wants to pursue AI. This is not a flavor of the day for Musk. He's been talking about this for the last decade. And of course, in the last month, he has been hinting about a ChatGPT competitor. And so he has a lot of capacity. This is a fractional positive when it comes for Tesla shareholders. There's much bigger news coming on the Tesla front in the next 1 to 2 years, of course. The company's been hinting that there'll be a new CEO there as well. And so any of the positives related to this development need to be taken in the context of what's going to happen over the next 1 to 2 years with Tesla's CEO role.
So within the context of your theory that he's going to spend more time on AI and AI projects, should Meta, should Microsoft, should Alphabet, should they be concerned about a competitor coming down the pike?
Well, at this point, probably not concerned. I think as soon as he really formulates his team, and Elon talks about a lot of things, I think he is going to pursue this. I think once a product is formulated, then there probably should be some concern. And I think he has. It's debatable how much recruiting power he has. I think he still has incredible power to bring in great talent. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, it's just a very small group of people that are making massive advancements. Everything that we've seen, or most of what we have seen across the board from AI, has been driven by 3 companies, essentially. OpenAI has been one of the biggest. They're creating plugins for other companies to power these experiences. And so you have this land grab for talent. Elon is capable of doing it. So to answer your question, Melissa, I think some of the other big companies should be concerned about Musk and his potential about creating some disruption in AI, depending on the team that he ultimately brings together. That's still unclear. And it is worth a footnote on this, is Elon has been all over the board on the topic of artificial intelligence. He's talked about this being potentially the end of humanity. He ended their investor event back in March with a somber assessment of AI. He said that the development of it needs to be slowed down. But on the flip side, he wants to have this X.AI company. And separately, obviously, AI is a big piece of autonomy. And that's kind of the whole value proposition for shareholders long term with Tesla, is to build FSD.
If there's something that we have learned from Elon Musk's ownership of Twitter, his involvement there, and his ability to juggle time and juggle projects, or maybe inability, depending on your viewpoint, is it clear here that it's okay for Tesla to lose its CEO, for him to transition away, that there won't be that, maybe 3 years ago, we would have thought there would have been a huge sell-off in Tesla stock if he announced that he was stepping down. Maybe not so much the case anymore.
Agree. I think that there would be a sell-off. I think that, but it would have been a run for the exits. I think 3 years ago, when the company was on pins and needles, it's in a very different place in terms of its cash position today. And separately, I think it's showed that it can operate without it. I think their CFO, Zach Kirkhorn, doesn't get as much credit as he deserves for keeping things moving, and I think that they've got a good product roadmap. And I think what is probably most important related to the conversation, which we're going to be having in a year or two about Musk leaving as CEO of Tesla, was probably more important is what his new role will be there. And it's a high probability that it's going to be some sort of a product role. As long as he's involved with the company in a product role, I think investors will generally be happy.